We're here to talk about, firstly, the main event, the guy that many believe is the complete future of the sport. And sometimes this is very, very difficult to find an opponent for Jaron "Boots" Ennis. This guy comes with zero fear. Now that's dangerous in itself, but this guy comes to change his life, and we wanted an opponent.
I don't know what he said.
Do you think he truly believes that he can win on Saturday?
I'm glad that he think he's confident. I like it. I like the confidence, but he talking too much, you know. He gonna get exactly what he gonna look, what he looking for. You know, it's gonna be an early night. You know, I'm gonna have some fun, and we're gonna show out. You know, I'm not playing. I'm not here to play games.
That's the difference between this kind of fight. You know he's gonna be right there for you.
For sure. I know what he bringing to the table. You know, like I said, whatever he bring, I'm gonna be ready. And it's that time.
We're taking pretty tough fights, learning on the job, and now we're getting there where we're at the top, and now we have everybody that's tough. We have all kinds of guys that are tough, but at least we learned along the way. And again, I'm just very happy to be here, very happy to be on this card.
Is that word key, levels? You know, we know this is a very good fight. I mean, he's an elite 154 guy. It's just about showing the levels on Saturday night, and you can't go over. You got this road warrior tag. It's different when you fight Boots Ennis.
No, for sure. He definitely a good fighter for sure. You know, I watch him. I like what I see. You know, a good fighter, but it's levels though. Like you fighting those guys over there. They don't got my skill. They don't have my power, my ability. I'm on a whole different level. And when he actually get in there with me on Saturday night, he gonna be like, yo, he a lot faster than I thought, a lot stronger than I thought, a lot slicker. Like it's levels. And he know that. You know, he know that, but we gonna see.
Danny Garcia, Robert Guerrero, and Mario Barrios, just to name a few of the guys who he has defeated over the course.
You win this fight inside the distance?
I win this fight however I want to do it. I'm not here to play. I'm saying no, I'm not here to
fight for control of the 154-pound division is becoming more exciting as two of its top stars continue moving toward a possible showdown. Experienced trainer and boxing expert Greg Hackett recently shared his opinion on a future clash between Jaron "Boots" Ennis and unified junior middleweight champion Sebastian Fundora. Hackett believes Fundora may still need a little more time before he is fully prepared to take on a boxer with Ennis's complete skill set and natural ability, because he feels this
will happen at 154. I think it's going to happen at 60. Why? I don't think Fundora wants that trouble at 54. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's so sure of himself. I think it's going to take him a couple years mentally to be really sure of himself. He talk a good game. He do. When he do his interviews, he talk a hell of a game. 30 seconds, he talk a hell of a game, but I don't think this is just me off of my observation. I don't think he's pleased with himself just yet to say he's going to fight me.
Hackett said this fight would bring together two boxers with very different physical advantages. He pointed to Fundora's incredible height and long reach while explaining that Ennis has the power and speed to close the distance in an instant. He believes Fundora could have early success by using his reach to keep Ennis at the end of his punches, but once Ennis gets inside the fight could quickly change. His fast hands, clean accuracy, and dangerous combinations could give the taller champion serious trouble.
When a tiger go after a giraffe and they be working him out, even though he be tall, he be trying little shit, he be doing little shit, it's just hard to get the motherfuckers off. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be like a tiger and a giraffe. One of them things.
While talking about both possible fights, Breadman said he believes a matchup between Ennis and Fundora will become exciting right from the opening bell, with Ennis eventually breaking Fundora down and stopping him by knockout. He expects a fight between Ennis and Virgil Ortiz Jr. to be very different because Ortiz is strong at fighting from mid-range and also performs well on the inside, making it a longer and more...
Because where do you find 6'6" southpaw sparring with an 80-inch reach? Where do you find that at? You know what I mean? Like, everybody hires Mike Fox, but there's only one of him. You know what I mean? Like, where do you find that?
Everybody goes to... It's hilarious.
Yeah, where do you find that? Like, a tall southpaw is like 5'11", 6 feet, 6'1". Fundora's 6'6" in boxing shoes. Where do you find that at? With a jab, with an uppercut, with a hook. He's mean, he's battle-tested, great conditioning, and he's improving in front of our eyes. So that might be, you know what I mean? The fact is, Virgil was right-handed, about 5'9", 5'10". You could find 20 sparring partners. They may not be better than him, but they can give you what he gives you. It's hard to find something for Fundora. You have to get heavyweights or cruiserweights to spar you, literally, because junior middleweights and middleweights don't walk around at 6'6". Like I said, there's only one Mike Fox. So I just think that for whatever reason, this is the way my mind is viewing it, that Boots and Fundora is an early round shootout. I think that Boots, it looks like Hagler versus Hearns, and Boots gets him early. Not easy, but early. I think that Virgil and Boots go longer. I think that Virgil is a little bit more talented than Fundora. I think Boots beat Virgil because he has a better jab and can kind of score too many points with his straight punches, and Virgil marks up. And Boots is he's constant with his attack. Virgil marks up, he swells up, he bleeds all over the place. I think that will play a factor in the fight. I think it will go longer.
Breadman also said Ennis has to stay fully alert whenever he trades punches with Ortiz. In his opinion, Ortiz keeps a tight guard, does not leave many openings, and throws short, accurate punches that can easily catch opponents who swing too wide. Even though he still picks Ennis to win, Breadman believes those close-range exchanges are the biggest danger he will face against Ortiz.
Mid-range and on the inside. And he doesn't drop his hands. He throws his punches right from where they're at. And he throws short, quick hooks and uppercuts. And he's kind of even-handed. And I think that will be, Boots will have to be on his game because Boots likes it. Even though Boots could play with Virgil and do fancy stuff from the outside and use his speed, at some point, Boots is going to back Virgil up, try to back him up, start beating his body and working in the mid-range and the inside because that's where he likes it. That's how he sees a fight. You can't fault a person for seeing a fight the way they see a fight, but that's where Virgil likes it also. And I think that in there, that Boots will have to be really, really sharp because although Boots is more talented than me, to me, I think sometimes Boots right in those ranges, he dropped his hands a little bit and kind of wings his shot sometimes. And Virgil is a little bit more tighter and shorter right there. I think that will be the one area that Boots will have to be careful with Virgil if they're exchanging. Like, let's say they're exchanging hooks and Boots throws one of his winging type of hooks and Virgil just sit on one, boom, and turn it right over. I think that will be right there, where Boots could possibly have some trouble. So I think that he will have to be more careful with Virgil. With Fundora, the game plan is a little bit easier because he's so tall. He got to just, you know what I mean? He got to dog him. He going to have to dog him. And believe it or not, Hans, sometimes the more difficult fight is the fight where you have to pick which game plan to execute. Because Virgil, he can outbox Virgil, in my opinion, right? But somebody else may say, you know what, Virgil's a come forward fighter and Boots.
If Ennis and Fundora finally share the ring, Hackett believes the fight will become more one-sided as it goes on. He expects Ennis to slowly break Fundora down before stopping him between rounds 8 and 10. In Hackett's view, Ennis brings a level of speed, timing, boxing skill, and punching power that is far beyond anything Fundora has faced during his professional career.
He'll be able to show his inside skill. He's gonna have to box him on the inside. He's got working for him. He can get past the jab, but he can break his body up for sure.
How does it end?
I'd say probably going the distance, maybe.
Think so?
Yeah.
Hackett admitted that Fundora's huge 6'6" frame and outstanding reach make him one of the most difficult fighters in the division to deal with. Even so, he believes those physical advantages are not enough to hide the defensive weaknesses that are still there. Hackett feels Ennis has the strength, ring intelligence, and ability to adjust during the fight, which will help him spot those openings and make Fundora pay for every mistake.
Stoppage, 8 round stoppage between 8th and 10th. I don't think he's going to see the 12. It's going to be too much for him.
What is it? You see who? I said, what's the deciding factor? Because everybody's looking at the length of Sebastian Fundora.
That's cool, but he just started using his length for you know what I'm saying? The most I can get Fundora, he battle tested, he went to wars and shit. That's another thing that plays in his favor. He already went to wars. And we've seen somebody who's nowhere near as technical as Boots or hitters.
Ortiz's trainer Robert Garcia confirmed that the reports about the fight talks were true, saying promoter Eric Gomez, Ortiz's father, and Rick Meridian all asked for his approval before moving forward, and he fully supported the plan right away. Garcia also dismissed the idea that Ortiz needed a tune-up fight, pointing out that he faced Israil Madrimov less than a year ago and has stayed active, unlike several champions who spend more than a year out of the ring without receiving the same criticism.
They talk about a fight, certain fight, whoever it is. Obviously, I'm the one that they call for the decision. I talk it over with Senior, my team, and everybody else. So that is very true. I'm gonna tell you guys, it is very true. The fight is very close. Eric Gomez, Virgil Senior, Rick Morigan, they all came to me, asked me what I think about the fight. I said, let's do it. There's no need to wait for that fight. There's no need to get a fight before that. Like a lot of people might think that Virgil needs a fight before that. No, he doesn't. Virgil fought less than a year ago. There's world champions right now that don't fight, that fight once a year or once every 18 months, and nobody says they're out of timing because of the delay. No, Virgil fought, less than a year ago. People seem to forget his performance against Madrimov. Virgil's active. Virgil's busy.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need to get a fight before that. The fight will happen. The only thing that could stop the fight is if Boots decides not to fight. But the fight on our side, I was the one that like I told you guys, Eric Gomez, Senior, Rick. I said, let's do it. There's no question. There's no doubt that we win this fight. So
Redmond gave Ortiz a slight advantage when comparing how his style matches up against Fundora. He said that once a fighter gets inside, Fundora often has problems dealing with opponents who have both speed and accuracy. He pointed to Ortiz's strong performance against Tim Tszyu and said the kind of balanced attack with both hands could cause serious problems for Fundora, even though the champion has repeatedly shown he can wear opponents down in the later rounds.
Fundora and Virgil Ortiz.
Damn. Man, I don't know. I'm going to flip a coin and say Virgil Ortiz.
Why is that?
Because I think that if he was able to... Fundora is improving and he's keeping people on the end of his jab, and his punching power seems to be a lot more than what people want to give it credit for.
Yeah.
And his physical strength seems to be a lot more than people want to give credit to. He just doesn't look like an intimidating guy with the glasses and the soft smokiness and very skinny. But he's a tough dude, man. He's tough to deal with. But I think that Virgil Ortiz, once you break the distance on Fundora, it'll be really hard for Fundora to be able to deal with the precision and the speed of Virgil Ortiz's punches. The first Tim Tszyu fight, he was really lighting Fundora up.
Yeah.
And then the freak accident happened and it seemed to just change the course of Tim Tszyu's career. But I think Virgil Ortiz is probably has a little bit better two-fisted attack than Tim. Probably a little bit more explosive, a little bit more twitchy, a little faster, probably a little better puncher. I think that what I saw in the Tim Tszyu fight, I think Virgil Ortiz could keep that up. But I don't know, man, because Fundora seems to just wear people out late. He seems to just be like a marathon runner, and he just keeps getting stronger, and he wears you out late. But if I flip...
Panelist Paulie Malignaggi called the potential fight a massive event for boxing. He explained that when the matchup was first mentioned, it was already seen as an exciting fight even without world titles involved. Now that both fighters are champions, the importance has grown even more, turning it into a major unification battle.
Whoever. Line them up.
No limit. Exactly. Line them up.
This is a terrific fight, and my only gripe with it when it was being talked about the first time with it was not a non-title fight, because I was like, two guys this good should be in a world title fight. Now
it is.
Now
there's two titles.
Now I feel like the time is even better. Now it's a world title fight. Now you have a fight on the global stage that deserves to be on the global stage and will be on the global stage for all the marbles. That is if this thing can get made right now, this is the exact timing. This timing is actually more perfect, in my opinion, than the last time. Because Coach, you're saying that
Chris Algieri shared comments from Rick Morigan, who said the biggest fight that can be made at 154 pounds is Ennis against Ortiz. According to Morigan, any other option would be seen as avoiding the toughest challenge, which puts clear pressure on both teams to get the fight signed instead of letting the negotiations fall apart.
I want to get Rick Morigan's quote here on point. We all know what the best 154-pound fight is to make. Anything else is ducking and excuses. So to your point, Coach, it's done on your side. If this fight doesn't get made.
Redmond explained that he believes Ortiz is actually the tougher stylistic matchup for Ennis. While giving Fundora credit for his toughness, he pointed out that the champion has struggled at times against fighters like Brian Mendoza and Sergio Garcia. He also said it is extremely difficult to prepare for someone with Fundora's unusual size because finding sparring partners who can copy a 6'6" southpaw with an 80-inch reach is almost impossible. Even with those physical advantages, Breadman still feels Ortiz is the more technically challenging opponent.
Where anybody is always Boots versus Fundora, Boots versus Virgil, you know, that's always kind of the question. So I was just curious to see, like, how do you see a guy like Fundora matching up with Virgil? And I would assume that Virgil, in your opinion, is the number one biggest threat to Boots at 154.
I think Virgil is Boots' toughest fight, but I don't know he's Boots' toughest fight. Fundora is hell. You know what I mean? He might get undervalued subconsciously with me because he got knocked out by Brian Mendoza.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we seen Lubin put him down, and we also seen Sergio Garcia probably beat him. So Fundora's had some tough nights, and I was there when he fought Jamonte Clark in the draw. Jamonte Clark was a real good amateur with the He turned pro with PBC. He was from like the Cincinnati area. He could box. And he probably beat Fundora that night. And it was a while ago, and Fundora has gotten better since then. But Fundora has had some tough nights. So maybe that's why I picked Virgil Ortiz, because Fundora may well could beat him. It's really a 50-50 fight. I'm just trying to give you a definitive answer just right now. Just trying to do the best.
Redman finished by saying the fight with Ortiz will demand smarter decisions from Ennis throughout the contest. He believes there are different ways to succeed, whether Ennis chooses to box from the outside or apply pressure by pushing Ortiz backward. Picking the right game plan at the right moments adds another level of difficulty, which makes this a more complex tactical fight than a matchup with Fundora.
Is, do I box him, or do I push him back, or do I do a little bit of both? With Fundora, like, he's not going to play the outside with a dude with an 80-inch reach that's 6'6". He's going to try to bomb Fundora out. So picking which game plan, it sometimes, as crazy as it sounds, you know, when you have more options, you have more decision anxiety. You have more, you know what I mean? That creates that. That's something that DAZN taught me. One of the first and most memorable lessons that I had as a boxing trainer. DAZN was telling me, like, sometimes, man, it's easier to deal with a guy when you know his style he has to fight. It's a little bit harder when you got to pick and choose what style to fight. So I think with Virgil, that's what makes the fight a little difficult, because there's going to be a lot of people that say Boots can outbox him. Then there's going to be people that say, man, just back him up. He can't fight backing up. And then Boots' temperament, he's going to have to figure out what he wants to do. But I like Boots in both fights. I think that Virgil is like a longer, grueling kind of fight where Boots stops him later in the fight. I say 9-10. But Fundora, I think, is an action-packed fight.
Share your prediction in the comments and tell us who you think comes out on top. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest boxing news update.